Am I the only one that didn't know we actually share DNA with Neanderthals? It's wild to think that, buried deep within our own genetic code, are traces of an ancient cousin species that walked the Earth tens of thousands of years ago. For most of us, Neanderthals have always seemed like distant, almost mythical figures, those cave people from our school textbooks, with heavy brows and stone tools. But the truth is, their story is much more intertwined with ours than we ever imagined. Scientists just sequenced the genome of the last Neanderthal ever found, and the results are seriously wild. This isn't just another fossil discovery, it's a breakthrough that's rewriting what we know about human history, evolution, and even ourselves. Imagine being able to peer back in time, not just through bones and artifacts, but through the actual genetic instructions that made a Neanderthal who she was. Neanderthals weren't just our rough-and-tumble cave cousins. They lived across Europe and Asia for hundreds of thousands of years, surviving ice ages, adapting to harsh climates, and developing their own cultures and technologies. They made tools, controlled fire, and even created symbolic art. For a long time, they were the dominant human species in much of the world, long before modern humans arrived on the scene. And the last known Neanderthal, a woman who lived around 39,000 years ago in Spain, just had her DNA sequenced for the first time. Her remains were discovered in a cave in northern Spain, a region that was one of the final refuges for Neanderthals as their numbers dwindled. This woman, now known as the Revilla woman, represents the very end of an entire branch of the human family tree. Researchers call her Revilla woman, and her DNA tells a story no one saw coming. For decades, scientists have wondered what happened to the Neanderthals, why they disappeared, and what their relationship was to us, Homo sapiens. Now, with this new genetic evidence, we're finally getting some answers. Extracting DNA from ancient remains is no easy feat. Over thousands of years, DNA breaks down and becomes contaminated with material from the environment. But scientists have developed incredible new techniques to recover and sequence even the tiniest fragments of genetic material. In this case, they managed to extract DNA from a single toe bone. Yep, after nearly 40,000 years. It's like finding a message in a bottle sent across millennia. The process involves painstakingly cleaning the bone, grinding it into powder, and then using chemicals to pull out whatever DNA is left. The DNA is then amplified and sequenced letter by letter to reconstruct the entire genome. It's a bit like assembling a massive jigsaw puzzle with most of the pieces missing, but the results are nothing short of astonishing. By reading her genome, they discovered Neanderthals were actually smarter and more adaptable than we ever thought. The old stereotype of the slow, brutish Neanderthal just doesn't hold up. Their DNA shows evidence of complex brain development, advanced tool use, and even the ability to adapt to changing environments. In fact, some of the genes linked to creativity and problem-solving in modern humans can be traced back to Neanderthals. The Revilla woman's DNA also reveals that Neanderthals had a surprisingly diverse gene pool, suggesting they lived in interconnected groups that traveled and traded across vast distances. This paints a picture of a species that was dynamic, resourceful, and far more sophisticated than we once believed. And get this, modern humans didn't just cross paths with Neanderthals, we mixed, mingled, and share more DNA than scientists realized. When our ancestors migrated out of Africa and into Europe and Asia, they encountered Neanderthals, and well, let's just say there was a lot of interaction. Today, nearly everyone with non-African ancestry carries between 1% and 2% Neanderthal DNA. That might not sound like much, but it's enough to have a real impact on who we are. These ancient encounters weren't just fleeting moments, they left a permanent mark on our genetic heritage. Some scientists even believe that interbreeding with Neanderthals gave our ancestors a survival advantage, helping them adapt to new environments and resist unfamiliar diseases. Some of the genes from Revilla woman even affect things like our immune system, skin, and hair today. For example, certain Neanderthal genes help our bodies recognize and fight off viruses and bacteria. Others influence the color and texture of our hair, the pigmentation of our skin, and even our risk for allergies and autoimmune diseases. It's incredible to think that traits we see in ourselves and the people around us, like freckles, red hair, or a strong resistance to certain illnesses, can be traced back to a woman who lived nearly 40,000 years ago. Her DNA is a living legacy, carried forward in millions of people around the world. So, if you've ever wondered where your strong immune system, or maybe your freckles, came from, thank your ancient relatives. The next time you look in the mirror, remember that you're not just seeing yourself. You're seeing echoes of a deep, shared history that stretches back to the dawn of humanity. And it's not just physical traits. Some studies suggest that Neanderthal DNA may even influence our sleep patterns, our mood, and how our bodies respond to stress. The more we learn, the more we realize that the line between us and them is blurrier than we ever thought. This discovery isn't just about the past, it's about who we are right now. It's a reminder that our story is still being written, and that every new scientific breakthrough has the power to change how we see ourselves and our place in the world. The sequencing of the Revilla woman's genome is a testament to human curiosity and ingenuity. It shows how far we've come in our quest to understand our origins, and how much more there is still to discover. Who knows what other secrets are waiting to be uncovered in the bones of our ancestors? Our history isn't just old bones, it's literally living inside us. Every cell in our bodies carries the story of our species, a story of migration, adaptation, and survival against the odds. The Revilla woman's DNA is a bridge between the ancient world and the present, connecting us to a time when humans were just one of several intelligent species sharing the planet. So the next time you hear about Neanderthals, don't just picture a distant, extinct relative. Think of them as part of your own family tree, a branch that may have ended long ago, but whose roots are still very much alive in all of us. Like and subscribe for more mind-blowing science stories. There's a whole universe of discoveries out there, and together, we're just getting started.